Hey, welcome to Indie Plus Games in the Bar for the July 2014 game night. We're going to be playing uh, Stories of the Lens by Brent Newhall, and tell us about it, Brent.
All right. Well, this is a it's going to be interesting because I designed the game like 2 days ago. So this is a cooperative storytelling game about galaxy patrol officers. So we're all going to be folks traveling the galaxy in a very fast spaceship, dealing with really big problems. If you're at all familiar with the Lensman books by E. Doc Smith, it's that straight down the line. Um, it's a diceless game. We'll be collecting points over the course of the story as we do certain things at different points in the game, and it actually follows a Hollywood screenplay structure format. So there's this very cliched structure that's intended for Hollywood screenplays. We're gonna follow that right down to the point where we're actually gonna have a timer. We're going to have like 10 minutes to do X, and we're going to have to do it in that time, and then it stops, and then we move on. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
Yeah, should be fun.
Cool. And we have Andrea joining us.
Sure do. I game.
Nice. All right, oop, and I am Aaron Field. I play a lot of games. I run a lot of games. I help out, do games in the bar for Indie Plus. And by the way, this is an Indie Plus event, and it follows the Indie Plus community standards. For more on those, you can Google Indie Plus community standards. And content-wise, we don't expect probably no bad language or very rare bad language. There will be some violence, maybe some blood and stuff. It won't be too gory or too much in focus. Mostly kind of like off camera a little bit, or people getting attacked, but not really uh, not too much gore or anything like that. But if that turns you off, this is not the game for you. So with that, go ahead and kick us off, Brent.
All right. So basics of the game. The main resolution mechanic centers around folks raising a hand. If you see, or if you notice another character, another player character, doing something that's either dangerous or selfless, then you raise a hand. When you do so, you get what's called a conflict point, which means that you have noticed some conflict, and you're sort of bringing that to the foreground. And then you get to suggest some negative consequence for that character's action. So someone's trying to, you know, leap across a bridge, as in like a starship bridge, that has sparks flying everywhere to rescue somebody. You can raise a hand and say, okay, that's dangerous. You get burned by the sparks, for example. And then the player can either spend a plot point, which we'll get to in a second, to not take the consequence, or take the consequence, have that happen, and move on. The game is divided into two kinds of scenes: player scenes and character scenes, or hero scenes, I think I call them in there, hero scenes. Player scenes are very much about us sort of discussing the plot and how things are going, whereas the hero scenes are about us more role-playing. That's so that we can kind of get our ducks in a row for the scenes, and then get into the scenes and just sort of run with the scenes, and then move on from there. In each scene, which can have several different sort of sequences within it, but each major scene, there's a time limit, and there are some things for us to do during that, and every scene tells us what we need to do to earn plot points. And these are things you want to do to tell you that you're actually moving the plot forward. So, for example, in the first sequence, you want to answer some questions about your character in introducing yourself, and if you answer all those questions, you get a plot point. In later scenes, you get plot points for doing things like adding a fact about the mission, proposing a course of action, adding new complications, stopping the villain in doing what the villain's trying to do, etc. We'll explain those as we go, but it's basically do this and you get a point. And then at the end of the game, we'll see how many plot points we have, and we'll go from there. Plot points and conflict points, and then again, you can spend those plot points to avoid consequences. That's basically it. Any questions at this point?
Do you get something neat for accepting a consequence?
At this point, you do not. Although that's a good idea. By accepting a consequence, you simply keep all of your plot points.
Got it.
So.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What kind of characters
are
we making then?
Good question. So the idea is that the characters have all been chosen by some alien entity or race as keepers of what's called the lens. And the lens is actually embedded in one of your hands, and this gives you telepathic abilities. It also kind of clears your mind. It helps you to think better. And it also, what else did I write about that here? You also get some sense of impending danger. So you can avoid danger as it comes in, or often run towards it. And you get a better sense of how unfamiliar technology works. Not necessarily something that you can immediately tell how it works, but you can understand its basic workings at a glance. Something the aliens give you. One of the interesting things is that these aliens just picked people to have the lens and dropped them into this spaceship. They explained to you why your particular personality gives you the lens, but you don't know why everyone else has the lens. We could all be very strange people with very strange, elements to ourselves. But the aliens picked us because there's something about us that's important. And our job is to basically, at least at the beginning, to patrol the galaxy and make sure that nothing bad happens, roughly speaking, which will. But it's our job to look for it and stop it if we can. The other thing to point out is that the lens is known to all spacefaring races. They've all heard of the lens, and they all respect the lens. Criminal organizations, not so much. But if we have to get to a base or whatever, all we have to do is do this, show the lens, and folks are, okay, whatever you need, we'll help you with that.
Cool.
So that is it can be a big help. Any questions about that so far?
Sounds good. Cool.
All right. So we can go ahead and start with the first scene, and I'll explain what's in there. Let me actually paste these into the box so we can all look at it as we go.
Nice.
So in this scene, we're trying to introduce our characters, and if we can answer the following 5 questions as we just describe our character, then we get a plot point. The questions are, what species are you? You can make it up. Are you high energy or laid back? Are you task focused or people focused? Are you well integrated into the group, or are you more of a misfit? And what's your name? So just kind of getting across those aspects of your character in your description. And the idea is to make this and you guys will be great at this, I know, to make this a narrative description. It's not, my species is X and I do Y, none of that. So does that make sense? Where is my... Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I know. All right. I have no idea what character I'm playing, but I understand what we're supposed to do.
We'll find out. So let's give you a few moments to think that up, and I'm going to set our timer here.
Cool. Let's see.
So think a bit about it, what you want your character to be.
Oh, how many? Do we start with some plot points or?
No, you start with 0.
No. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Actually, going to scribble down a few ideas here.
Yeah. Okay. Name is the hardest question to answer, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the hardest question.
Let's see. Gonna pull up the old random name generator.
Mm-hmm.
Science fiction.
Speaking of,
Mine just won't be very science fiction-y. It'll be fine.
this is hands down the most valuable book I have ever bought for roleplay.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It is amazing. It's just names after names divided by culture and all sorts of things, and by tendency, Peloponnesian names and British place names and all this stuff. And then in the back, there's all sorts of stuff about generating fantasy character names, and there's a bunch of those in there too. So it's fabulous.
Nice.
Cool beans.
Nice. Okay.
Okay,
I'm ready
you
to
guys
go.
ready? Andrew, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I think the easiest way to do this is we'll just get started, and once one person is done, somebody else can take over from there. And the idea is just to kind of describe our, we're in the ship flying somewhere, and so the camera kind of pans across us, and we see each of us at our various stations and get a feel for us. I'll start if that's okay.
Go for it.
Yes, please.
Okay, 10 minutes begins now, which I think is going to be plenty of time. So we see this sleek starship, and we pan over to a tall, blue-skinned creature, about 7 foot tall, if standing, with these long, slender arms and legs, humanoid, but still very strange, who is slouched in his chair in front of a console with tons of information scattered all over the console, and who's tapping away at things, very relaxed, very calm about that, and obviously learning all sorts of information, just bathed in data that's just coming into him. You see little earbuds that are processing information in there as well. As he sort of glances around, you notice he has that confidence that comes from somebody who is respected by his or her shipmates, someone who just kind of knows what's going on and knows that other people respect what he does. And panning over, you see on his below him on the screen is a little thing saying Bradbury as his name.
Nice. Okay. And next to Badbury is a potted plant, or what appears at first glance to be a potted plant. But in fact, the one of the leaves reaches out and pushes a button on the console, and the computer reads out crew member identified, Forcia, and sorry, let's see. So Forcia is very slow moving, very chill, and actually sort of scoots around on little wheels on the bottom of this kind of device, and Forcia sort of rolls over to a couple of one of the other, or I guess it's only us, right? So rolls over to the other crew member and kind of slowly reaches out a leaf to their shoulder, and let's see. Yes.
Really hard to answer number 2.
And who is that? What does that shoulder look like?
The shoulder is actually, the leaf kind of brushes up the shoulder past, she's wearing like the little name badge, and it says Linga on it, along with their sigil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right below it's a metallic collar, and it's got some flashy sort of cyan colored lights on it that occasionally release kind of a little puff up into the person's face, and she's clearly very feminine, very softened features as opposed to very like the angular features that you would expect a man would have. Even though she's very slender, very athletic, her skin is a very very dark, kind of ebony color, and she doesn't appear to have any hair. And she reaches over and kind of pats the leaf on her shoulder and smiles, and she's looks over at beyond the leafy plant person to Bradbury and says, "I think it's about time."
Very good. All right, that was 5 minutes. Perfect. Okay.
Ooh.
So let's see here. So did any of us not get to all 5 questions?
So I didn't answer. Oh, yeah, I think I got it. I didn't answer specifically what species, like what the name of the species is or whatever, but
That's fine.
pretty clearly a
I
plant.
Yeah,
plant
I don't think any of us did.
Yeah,
got it across. That's cool. All right, so we each have a plot point.
cool.
I'm going to make
Did
sure.
you? Are you all well integrated?
I am. Yes.
No misfits. All right, cool.
No misfits. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
We're a well-oiled team to start with.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. See how that goes. All right. That works. Okay. So the next scene is a scene for us, the players, to choose the theme of the story. This is going to be sort of the stated theme that we're going to try to follow, or at least explore over the course of the story. If we don't actually, that's okay. So I put them in the comment box here, just some things to start off with as suggestions. We have stop that. There we go. So we have 10 minutes to choose a theme, which again should be plenty of time. The themes on there are rebellion, romance, freedom, oppression, extinction, character, idealism, and friendship. So before we do anything, we first pick one silently, and then we'll reveal which one we each picked.
Okay, cool.
I have mine.
I
Sure.
have one.
Ready. So I picked
Okay.
friendship.
Okay. I picked oppression.
Oh dear, I picked idealism.
Okay, interesting. Friendship, oppression, and idealism. Trying to think of a good theme that kind of hits those. Friendship. So we could certainly talk about, or center it on the ideal of friendship.
Yeah, I think it's kind of Star Trek, like where it's like this ideal society where everybody can be friends and everybody can get along, and we stand for freedom against this the oppression of whatever outside force, or maybe the oppression of the lens themselves or itself.
Nice. So maybe it's about to that point. It's about the idea that we all have this certain belief that we're all we all think we all have this belief that we're all moving forward towards, and we'll see how much that kind of stresses.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. Okay. Excellent. So yeah, cool. All right. So that took us 2 minutes. Excellent. All right.
It's easier when there's only 3 players.
That's true. Very, very much so. All right. So now we move on to our next hero scene. This is the setup. So in this, we're going to describe the apparent mission that we're on. So we're all going to space towards something. We've been called somewhere. We've been told to do something, whatever. And we're going to set this up. This is, this is Indiana Jones going for the idol in the temple, where that's not actually what we're here for, but that's not the movie plot, but that's the startup plot. And so we'll basically describe our characters interacting, and in our interaction, we'll be describing what we're going on. Yeah, as you know, George, that's kind of the idea of it behind this scene. So you get plot point. You get plot points every time you describe some fact about the apparent mission, or you add some obstacle to the team's performance. So something that gets in our way of actually doing what we're trying to do. Okay, so I think we've got all that. That makes sense?
Yep.
All right, and I'm going to paste that also in here so we're kind of staring at it as we go. All right, so we have, yep, question?
No, go for it.
Okay, cool. So we have 10 minutes to do this and, do as much as we can or want to in 10 minutes. I will start now. So we're on course. We're on course towards Facilia. We should be arriving in 10 minutes.
And so Forcia has kind of plugged this little machine that the plant is running around in into the console, and the computer starts speaking. And you know from working with Forcia before that the plant can't actually talk, but it kind of relies on machines to translate and express its thoughts. And so the computer starts speaking. There seems to be something strange about the gravity in this system. Something has changed.
That's strange. We were here not long before. What's different?
I think.
Well, I'm sure you remember the last time we were here that the native population that we helped were working to restore the artificial astroturfing.
Of course, yeah.
Hmm.
But it wasn't going well, as I recall. Which is why we're obviously, which is probably why we were brought here. That ambassador who sent us the message, Ambassador Niven. What did he tell you, Vorsia?
Let me recall the conversation. And it's kind of a couple of slight whirring as accesses the memory banks. It says, yes, he warned of some nefarious faction among the populace here that were unsatisfied with the work being done.
Well, thank goodness we had the lens.
He suspected sabotage of the project to terraform the planet. And so I want to. So we finally arrive at the system.
Okay.
And we can see what's wrong with the gravity. And the moon of this planet has been shattered. And it's just in pieces.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's a little worse than sabotage.
Yes, indeed. But my fingers are flying over the keyboard or variant thereof. I say, that's strange. The gravity readings indicate that there's something else here besides just this shattered moon. The gravity should be different than this if only the moon were destroyed. We should be cautious.
Are you talking about the gravity around the planet or the gravity on the planet?
The gravity around the planet.
Yes. To cause such destruction, perhaps some large mass was added to the system.
Hmm. So, um, hmm.
We should discuss. We should meet and talk with the people here.
Fair enough. Um, I agree. Let's descend to the surface. So I type a few commands. Ship, down towards the surface. Um, let's see here. So what does this place look like?
So it used to be um, kind of a Mars-like, sort of mostly desert and desolate area, and they've been trying to what's it called transform it into terraform it into
Hmm.
a more hospitable place. Um, but since this attack, it's caused all kinds of chaos in the weather patterns and the ocean and
Hmm.
you know the small ocean that they had introduced is just going nuts. There's giant waves and it's like raining and storming all the time. Um, and so as we go down to the planet, we're
Hmm.
sort of uh, one of the local people. Yeah, yeah, it's very and we finally land, and one of the local peoples comes out with the
Hmm.
sort of shielding their head and saying, "This way, inside, quickly."
Hmm. Yeah, let's stride on in. So the people of this planet are just kind of short and stocky. Think sort of D&D dwarf type. Um, and so they take us in there, and we're taken in front of a group of elders of some. Actually, we'll go with uh, there are a bunch of old men and women on sort of hovering chairs all around some central sort of holographic projecting thing. And so we walk into there, and they sort of turn to nod at us and say hello. And finally, the patrollers of the lens are here. Thank goodness you're here.
Yes, yes.
We- We've come per the ambassador's request. Is he on planet, or has he been sent the back to his seat in the local government?
We haven't seen the ambassador since the event.
Hmm.
The ambassador's disappeared.
Um, what of the saboteurs?
It's still difficult for us to say. We we registered a huge energy reading near our moon, which then caused a huge which then exploded. We're still sort of struggling to find out what happened. There's no apparent reason for that to have happened. We haven't found the source. Just one day the moon exploded.
Hmm. Hmm. I must uh, I must process this, and
We
the
will.
the leaves kind of droop a little bit. Hear the whirring.
So I'll say. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
No, go. No, I'm done. Like I was just going to make things worse, but I'll shut up.
No, please go ahead. Make things worse.
So I was going to ask them. Tell us how are your supplies holding out? I know last time we were here they were beginning to get low, but you had hoped the terraforming would help resupply your people.
Well, the storms caused by the destruction of our moon have badly damaged our supplies. We will hold out for a little while longer, but we are in need of more. We put out calls to nearby systems, but we put out calls to nearby systems, but nobody has yet replied. So we're not sure if the signals are actually getting through or not.
Hmm. Uh, Very
I
well. It
think
is our mission. It is our mission to make sure the terraforming completes. Uh, so I will return to the ship and try to contact more systems and bring help.
I'll come with you. I can help rejigger the neutron flow. Cool. All right.
Right. Sounds good.
30 seconds to go. Perfect.
Ooh.
Nicely done.
So plot point was, I guess,
These people
I
are
had
screwed.
the gravity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's
I
You got a
yeah,
couple.
look at that Google document. I've been taking notes
Oh,
frantically.
excellent. Thank you.
I can't open it for some reason.
I linked it. You
Request
can't open it in the
access.
chat either.
Yeah. It says I need
Let me.
permission.
Let me
Oh,
see
I
if I
see.
can get
Okay.
into their drive.
Request access. Maybe that'll.
Yeah, I'm having,
Okay.
I'm having the same
Try.
problem I was having earlier.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Okay.
I got it. Yeah,
All
cool.
right. Yep, there
So,
it is. So
yeah.
I counted five, I guess four pieces of information I added, and then one danger. Let's see here. Andrea, what did you add? You added the terraformation.
Yep.
You added the ocean and all the waves, right?
Nope. That was
Um,
Aaron.
That was
Okay,
me.
cool. That's one there. Let's see here. Um, Andrea added the supplies getting low. Looking back up. Aaron, you added the moon shattered. Literally blowing up the moon to begin the story. That's great. And I think Aaron, who put in, who described the message that Niven sent?
Aaron.
Okay,
What?
cool.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
that was you.
Okay, cool. So I got like three, I think.
At least, yeah. I think you got four.
Okay, cool.
And Andrea, how many of you got? Two?
Yeah. I was
Cool.
I was
All
doing
right.
lots of typing and not really participating.
Fair enough. So as a yeah, no, makes sense. Cool. All right. So
What's
now we're gonna
next?
move. Now we're gonna move on to another hero scene, the Catalyst. This is where things go badly. We try to move forward with the mission, and just things go all to pieces. You know, the bad guys show up, or well, as I put in, you know, Alderion's an asteroid field. The Nazis have the Ark, what have you.
Hmm.
And also, of course, we can mess up too. That's cool as well. So for that, we have 15 minutes, and we get plot points every time we add a fact about the catalyst. So whatever's changing the story, every time we add a fact about what is shifting the story in the direction of the villain or you know, the main plot, we get a plot point. So again, I'll paste that in, set the timer.
Cool. And we haven't really run into any like dangerous stuff yet.
Not really, no.
Okay, cool.
I think we're about to.
Yes. Very
A
well.
little bit.
Stage is set.
Very good. All right, so we're about to go out and find out, and starting the timer now.
Okay. So we're on the bridge. We're still like parked on the planet, but
Mhm.
we're kind of on the ship, and Forsey is at the console. And sorry, what's your character name? Bradbury. Right. Do you mind if I call you Ray? So
Everyone
Bradbury,
says that.
Bradbury is also fiddling with stuff, and Forsey is like, that's good. I'm getting a signal now. Wait, mini
There's heavy
signals.
interference.
Mini. It's too fast to process. Help me.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah,
decode the signal now. It's very strange.
yeah, and so Forsey kind of like puts it up on the screen. You know, all these different incoming transmissions,
Mm.
and it's a bunch of different looking, like a dozen different aliens, pop up on the screen, and they're all shouting,
Mm.
and some kind of emergency is going on at all these different places. It's
Mm.
kind of like these, they're calling out for help.
Great. Everyone speak at. No, don't everyone speak at once.
Yes.
Um, um, I'll try to calm them down, and I'll point at one of them and say, "You, what's happening?"
We have massive explosions rippling through our systems as they're like flickering in and out, and there's stuff falling in the background.
Nice.
What is the source?
It's something underneath the crust of the planet. We can't get to it. We can't lock it down. It may have something to do with the mining.
Uh, Great. So I'll start pulling up information about that planet, and then point at somebody else and say, "So you, crust, explosions, mining."
I'll let
Yes.
Aaron answer that one.
Uh, 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 some kind of disturbance on our moon. I, I, I. Oh God, it's huge. Get out of here. We have to evacuate. Help! Send help.
All right. Um, well, this is a problem. Um,
Bradbury, it seems there's not to interrupt. May I interrupt? Kind of raises the leaf.
yes, of course, Portia.
Uh, I'm getting some kind of some additional disturbance in our own system here, and as Vorsa speaks,
Hmm.
there's an earthquake, as if
Ah.
some big explosion just happened
Hmm.
somewhere on the planet's surface here.
Okay. So I punch up some visual. Give me rocket number 9, and we get a visual, visuals at various points in the planet. So I'm hacking into the systems, the planet's visual systems, and we flicker around, and we flick to a shot of space, and we see a giant black ship sort of materialize behind the moon. And visible through all of the pieces of the moon there. Um, and I say, "Oh crap! Does anyone recognize it?"
I've only seen anything like it once, and that was when Celia 3 was destroyed.
Celia 3. That's right. They never did find out what happened to Celia 3, did they?
No.
Hmm.
But the last report was of something very similar to that.
Yes. I'm running diagnostics now on this ship. What do y'all think we should do? Should we engage it?
Uh, uh, we should evacuate the people here, save who we can.
Evacuate
I,
them to where?
I think their
Uh,
ships were all broken down into the terraforming process and living quarters. The ships they
well,
came in aren't there anymore.
we have some cargo space aboard our own ship. Uh, Perhaps not enough for many people, but we could save the species.
Good point. I will put in a call to the scientist room, and of course, same thing there. Explosions, rafters falling down. Um, and I say, uh, "Gentlemen, your planet is exploding. We recommend you board our ship as soon as possible. We will take as many of you as we can, and hopefully we can bring in someone else. And we can find other ships to bring in your populace."
Yes.
So,
I'm trying to organize rescue vessels, but many seem to be occupied already.
hmm.
And cool. So as I don't know how much time we have left on the scene, but maybe we could wrap it up. Uh,
Funny.
oh,
Oh
okay.
my God.
Oh, we have more
Let's
time.
keep making things worse,
Yeah.
you guys.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Well, I think. How about this? We kind of get as many of these short guys
Hmm.
aboard and take off.
Okay.
And as we get into space, we can see that this large black ship is closing in on the planet,
Mhm.
and this beam of energy, or this beam
Mhm.
of light extends out to the planet and begins sort of tearing it apart and sucking in
Mhm.
pieces of it.
Ah, okay. Cool. Um, well, okay. I'm pulling in just all sorts of data, and you see just storage banks just filling up with information. Um, so this appears to be a reverse tachyon beam, very similar to the one used by the Zeleni cultures, where it actually disassembles matter into energy and stores it for later use. But it's being used on an absolutely unimaginable scale.
Hmm. It
Right?
seems it seems I it seems there are many of these ships around the sector. Uh, I can't decide. Should we try to rescue more of these folks here, or uh, go to the next system, which is also in need? They have no one to rescue them. Uh,
I think our duty is to find out what is happening with these vessels. We need to solve the underlying problem. We can't take on any more people than we already have, and if we can at least stop this from destroying more systems, then we can save the most people.
uh, I feel sad for New Mercury. They have no idea what is happening.
The leaves wilt.
Yes.
Have either of you
Oh.
tried hailing that ship yet?
Point. Uh, I'll touch some keys, send out a broadcast. Um, how should we go with this? Let's see here. Um, hmm. Okay. There we go. Um, so up on the view screen comes an image of a man in a crisp uniform who completely human who comes in and says, I see those of the lens have found me finally. And I react and say, General Christoph, what are you doing there?
Betrayer.
I thought you died 5 years ago.
Okay. Oh, wait. I need to.
Anyone want to take that one on?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Uh, it is. He says, yes. Ha 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 ha. I thought I died as well, but that was before the Drino found me. They brought me back to life, and they have shown me the wonderful world that is to come.
Does this world involve killing millions of innocents?
Uh,
Yeah?
what
Technically.
what matter? These innocents are but ants compared to the world that the Drino will build once they have the material.
You're mad.
Am I?
What possible use could you no, what possible reasons could you have for something like that?
Ah, well, it is
What is
quite
this good
clear and
for?
simple, and simply because you just the fact that you cannot fathom any possible reason shows that you are not worthy. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and since you are an obstacle to the creation of the Drino home planet, you will be destroyed. And we outside, quick flip to the outside of the ship, and the beam of light, turns off the planet, and the ship turns, and this beam of light sweeps and shoots out at our ship instead, and starts pulling us toward it.
Okay, nice.
Oh.
Firing all
Smells
retro
very
rockets. Not effective. We're being pulled suddenly towards the ship. What do we do?
Bradbury,
Yes. What?
maybe I have contacted a rescue ship. Maybe they can pull us free.
I hope so.
And so up on the screen,
Go ahead.
yeah, up on the screen, sort of a, let's see,
I have an idea.
yeah,
So
who's coming to the rescue?
a rescue ship sort of warps in through some kind of like weird warp bubble, but it warps in through the beam, and so there's this weird bubble of space time that just sort of hits us and hits and goes to goes through the beam and hits us, and
Nice.
so the rescue ship and us tumble into just some weird like tunnel of light, and
Oh,
we
wow.
just sort of get vomited out somewhere.
Crazy.
That take care of that scene?
Cool. What's happening? Ah! Ooh.
Oh no, not again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Very good. So, what plot points did we get?
I got a few for
Mm-hmm. You got a lot.
stuff the general said, etc. I've more or less been keeping track. I think I've got 10 so far.
Nice. Okay, I got 2 more. So, there we go. Total of 7. Andrea, I don't want you, playing recorder the whole time.
Oh no, I'm okay. I think I got maybe 3 in there.
Okay.
It didn't seem like a lot
That's
because it
right.
was all towards the beginning, but
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So we finished with the catalyst. Now we hit the debate. This is a player scene, where we get to decide. Okay, what are we gonna? What should our heroes do next?
Right.
So it gives us a little bit of a breather to discuss those things. We do get plot points during this. Every time we propose a course of action for the team, or we describe a possible outcome of one of those proposals, we get. So let me reset.
Alright.
Give us our time. So, there we go. So we have 5 minutes to figure out what should our characters do next. Any thoughts?
Okay. So, and this is like in character, right? Where we're
No, this is out of character.
out
Okay.
character. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the players. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Let's do. Let's see.
So we can certainly try to chart a course back to this system to investigate it further, and hope the ship is still there.
I think we should. We need to go get some help. Like clearly, this is too much for just us 3 alone. Even though we have the lens. We should, go to the various planets and recruit people to possibly even military ships or something to face this threat.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, we don't know. We didn't really establish exactly how far we are
True.
from that. So I think first things first, we definitely need to drop the people off somewhere safe because
Mm-hmm.
taking them back into battle kind of nixes the reason why we rescued them in the first place.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Forgot about those dwarf guys.
Mm. So maybe we go to the nearest sort of military outpost, drop off those guys, and try to enlist their aid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes
that
sense.
seems reasonable.
Yeah, find the
And
nearest
then
Klingons.
I think we also need to look into that ambassador situation because it's odd that he would call for help and then disappear, especially when the threat is so huge and obviously external.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Um, Okay. How are we going to convince the military to do? What if the military says no?
Hmm.
We cry.
Um. Hmm. Well, if we can't get anybody to face these guys down. Oh, okay. Here's the other option. Then we go back to the general and the Drino that he's working for, and offer some alternative solution, some other, if they could get their material from uninhabited planet somewhere or something like
Okay.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Just do your thing, but somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We could also try to find out more about the Drino. I mean, it's possible that they're in the databank somewhere.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, and if these are similar to the beams used by the Zelani cultures, maybe we can also look into that and try to find a weakness to those beams.
Good point. Very good point.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And the last thing is we need to figure out where we are and what happened to that rescue ship.
Point.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we could transfer the refugees to that ship too if it's still around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a
Yeah,
good plan.
one less thing to worry about. Any other ideas? Any other concerns?
I have all kinds of concerns, but nothing helpful.
Well, I can get you plot points.
Okay, so for the sake of plot points,
Mm-hmm.
there is the whole problem of there are obviously multiple ships
Mm-hmm.
and hitting multiple systems,
Yeah.
and the impact that that's going to have on the solar system, galaxy,
Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
nonsense when planets are no longer suddenly there.
Mm-hmm. True. So obviously, so we need to warn people.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Which we can use kind of in our spiel to try to convince
Yeah.
people, come help us.
Mm-hmm. True.
Nice. All right.
Okay. Good one. All right. 10 seconds to spare. Nicely done.
We're so good.
We are very good. All right. So let's see here. So now we get 15 minutes to start with what's called the B story. This is where we have some new problem that intrudes on us. I'm sure we've already set up quite a few of what those are going to be.
All right.
And so, just from the rules, this can involve new antagonists, organizations, people, environments, or internal conflicts between us. The good old, Firefly thing. And so every time we add a new complication for the team, something that is giving us a problem, then we get a plot point. Do we have a plot point to get out from last time? I think I have mine.
I do.
Cool.
Yep.
Good. All right. 15 minutes on the clock. And so we tumble through space. I apply the retro rockets. Being space opera, we got to have retro rockets. and we start coming to something a little more stable. And I shout out, um, ship stabilized. The rescue ship is not far from us and appears to be undamaged.
Hmm.
Still, still calculating coordinates based on local star system.
Uh, hmm.
Um,
And you see, Borsia is kind of has tumbled over, and it's kind of leaves her kind of wilted and limp, and says, the computer translates, kind of reads out the message. I don't feel so good. What happened? What went wrong? Are you
We
there,
appeared.
Linga? Are you there?
At Linga will go hold a tendril thing
Oh yes. Sort of set me
soothingly.
right.
Yes.
As the rescue ship arrived through its warp bubble, it appears to have interacted with the energy beam to fire us to some place essentially random in space. Um, oh, huh. Um, and I say, fortunately, we happen to be not far uh, from Asimov 3, which, as you all know, is a very strong military culture. They're not too friendly to most folks in the greater human co-prosperity sphere, but they should at least respect the lens.
Mm. Ah, very well.
Now, the rescue ship is sending me messages that they're shaken but undeterred.
Ah, well, now, the people of Asimov 3, they're they can be quite dangerous, quite unpredictable, and we should definitely transfer the dwarves or whatever they're called to the rescue ship, and send them to go warn, send them back, and they should warn everyone to beware the approach of these large
Mm.
black ships. Um, the people of Asimov 3 are a ancient enemy of the plant people.
Ah.
Many times uh, in galactic history, they have come to our planets and cut down our forests, and without regard, without even realizing that
Mm.
we're sentient. I will not find it easy to come to them for help.
So a view screen pops into life, and I say signal coming in from Asimov 3, and a large humanoid cat is standing there and says, "This is Crew Thank from Asimov 3."
Murderer! Quivering.
What are you doing in our solar system, and why do you bring us food?
Linga steps in front of Vorsha very protectively, and obviously like puts out her hand so they can see the lens and
Mm,
announces, "We are, uh, is it patrol of the lens patrol, something like
sure.
that?
Yep.
Yeah, whatever it is. And we were brought out here on a mission, quite unexpectedly actually. Have have you or your people noticed any masses of gravity in the immediate area?
nothing like that around here, and I'm sure we would have seen it. We have some of the finest technologists of the galaxy.
Undoubtedly, you do. Um, we are seeking help from your great empire. Tales of your warriors have spread throughout the galaxy.
As is only right.
The computer just lets out a.
Oh, poor guy.
Are you leaking air? Is that what is occurring? What assistance do you need?
The Drino have organized into an attack force.
Not the Drino.
The Drino, indeed. And from everything we can tell, they are trying to destroy the entire galaxy and rebuild it for themselves. They've already destroyed countless planets in, Quadrant B over that direction.
Yes. Yes. The
You mean we get to fight things?
Yes.
They will come
Sweet.
for you. They will come for you. As
They will
Mobians.
They will find us ready.
No, you must step up. You must not only fight, you must protect. Come with us. Bring your army and defeat these ships. Come battle them. Do something good for the galaxy for once.
We will come if we get to eat that fabulous catnip that you have there. That just looks delicious. No, I'm kidding. We will come on the condition of the great glory this will bring the Asimovian Empire.
All right.
Yeah. The glory shall definitely be yours.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
No. Glory. You will do it. Look, I know, and Borsia kind of whispers, although it's hard to whisper when the machine is talking for you. I know these Asimovians. They want only to kill. Their glory will be our death. We must convince them to come out of the goodness of helping the galaxy.
I don't think we have time, Vorsho. The planets are being destroyed right and left. We need to take whoever is closest.
Well, don't blame me when it all goes wrong.
We won't.
So I think we then get a shot of the massive Asimovian fleet coming out, launching to our aid, and then a grizzled old feline comes on saying, "I am, Thikul of the Admiral of the Asimovian fleet. I am at your command, people of the lens. Where are we going?"
Quadrant B. We encountered their flagship.
Mm.
Oh my god, I forgot the name of that planet.
Right.
Bashilia. Bashilia.
Very well. Off we go. Yeah. So I think we all warp out and warp back in, and I don't think there's much left. We come in and it's all rubble, and the ship's gone.
Yep.
And I'm trying to find information about it and pulling up information and data's flying across the screen, and I say, this is quite strange though. It did appear that the ship did engage some kind of hyperspatial drive, but I can't get an exact fix on where it went. It is leaving a trail, but it's a very unstable trail through hyperspace. It's not what I would expect a drive of that magnitude to do.
Yes. Well, maybe all the probably the rest of the ships are going to the same place. We can pinpoint it if
Hmm.
we measure the gravity of all the systems and figure out
Ah.
where their paths intersect. And so I'll start, um, pulling in more data and kind of processing and worrying,
Hmm.
and the leaves wilt, and several minutes pass, and then I speak up again and say, "Aha! It seems they're headed for the abandoned system of, let's see, the abandoned system of Valinor."
Valinor. Not Valinor.
Not Valinor.
Yes,
What could possibly be in Valinor to
all of the
support an
gravimetric readings
entire?
point to Valinor.
What could possibly be in Valinor that would support an entire fleet? It was abandoned for good reason. None of those planets are in the least habitable.
Hmm.
Perhaps that is exactly why they want Valinor. It is out of the way. It is unused by anyone else. It would be a perfect hideaway and a perfect spot to create a new world.
Yes, it's a staging area.
Hmm.
Let's go!
Right.
Yay!
Now, following their trail, though, I think
Mm,
uh, I guess you're the navigator,
mm,
Bradbury.
mhm.
So I'm gonna say that's dangerous. Uh, and trying to following in their wake, and even just
Mm.
approaching this area with so much extra matter uh,
Oh.
concentrated in this place.
Hmm.
It threatens to tear the ship apart, and so I guess you'll be really tired, like drained from
Mm.
fighting against all this gravity and this crazy
That's all right.
cracked
It
leaves
won't.
and stuff.
It won't be the first time, and if it saves more innocent lives, then good. By the way, do we know if anyone else has been affected? Let's check up on that. So I'm going to start, pressing buttons and so forth, and trying to find out what's going on. And I get back messages that another 12 systems were attacked, sort of in rapid order, and then they stopped. And there have been no more attacks in the past, say, hour. They've all gone away. All right, it's time to find out what the people are up to. Y'all ready?
Ready, Freddy.
Okay.
Yes.
Engaging hyperdrive, and off we go, and we're going all over the place. And, I'm navigating through all of these gravity wells and so forth. And we pop out, and we currently have about 1 minute left. So let's pause there. All right. Calculate up your plot points. And then we will move into the next scene. This is a 5-minute scene for us, for the players. It's out of character, where we get to figure out what the villain's big plan is. So
Yeah.
we know what they're actually doing, but what are they actually doing?
Yeah.
And once we decided that, then we'll probably take a quick bio break, if that's okay with you guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So 5 minutes. Any ideas?
So when you suggest a big plan, you get a plot point.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's got something to do with that, making the systems unstable.
Ah. So you think it's specifically about which system? The one they destroyed?
Like I said before, when you destroy the planet, that upsets the whole balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess not really necessarily
Oh,
systems, but the whole galaxy.
okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That's interesting.
So they're trying to wipe everybody out,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Well, it
Okay.
could also be, I mean, if they're destroying that much mass, that's going to affect space-time. Because so it
Oh.
could be that they're actually trying to do something with space-time itself.
So maybe they're like a um oh my gosh, I can't remember what they're called, but basically it's a race that's lost its home. Like they're kind of
Yeah.
like nomadic because they have no home planet because
Mm-hmm.
perhaps it was either destroyed or lost to internal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But so they live out of the starships, which would give them good reason to want to go back in time
Right. So they're
Yeah.
to
trying to
rescue their
get the
planet.
planet back. Nice. I like that. Um, okay. So why would they want to go to this specific spot then? This Valinor. Um, Perhaps this is the spot which has the sort of the central energy point where once they hit this, it will create the big fluctuation in space-time.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take it a little different direction. I think
Okay.
they're this is only step one is to gather all this
Mm,
matter and create this new planet, right?
okay.
Uh, they're gonna use that planet to to create a new Drino homeworld, and from
Okay.
there they actually plan to spread out and conquer uh,
Mm,
the rest of the galaxy.
okay.
Or the other thing is they're building this planet to and their plan is to create the planet and then summon the rest of the Drino, which are scattered throughout the
Ah,
universe, and create this one central point for them to come to.
interesting.
So basically, it'll be a just this huge influx of this single race.
Interesting. We could also go the direction that uh, uh, the Drino are building this planet as a final refuge for their race, and once they do that, they're gone. They just disappear completely.
Hmm.
Maybe even like into hyperspace. And by doing so, they will. And we can actually go that direction. Maybe they want to like literally escape to hyperspace. With this planet that's especially stabilized, but in doing so, it's going to massively destabilize the hole left by the planet. So in addition to all the
Nice.
destruction they've done, that will possibly destroy space time, or at least cause
Yeah.
these massive waves through space, things like that.
Cool.
Okay.
Any other-
My question though is why? What does Kristoff have to do with this?
Oh, good point.
Right.
Because I
Hmm.
mean, they're obviously like evil race doing evil race things,
Yeah.
and they seem like they're a little bit, you know, Drino-centric. So
Yeah.
why rescue?
Do they need him to outwit the human races, or the
Yeah.
Was
non
was
them?
he was he like a lens dude too?
That's a good question. He could be.
Because
Um,
maybe
that's good.
they are
Very
attempting to
good.
turn
Yes.
him against the
Exactly.
rest
That's
of
why
us.
that's why they needed him is because
Yeah.
he still has the lens and we as far as we know he was dead. Um, but
Excellent.
they're using him for his lens to hold the rest of us off.
A dark lens. Lovely.
Indeed.
Cool. Any other ideas?
Cool.
Oh well, time's up anyway.
That's fine. Yeah.
Cool. All right. 5 minute bio break.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
Thank you.
I like your prop.
Thanks. Let's see. Do. Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. Guys ready?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So we're going to move on to the next scene. This is called The Bad Guys Close In. We're going to encounter the villains themselves and see how they move towards the big plan. We get plot points whenever we stop the villain, or one of the villains, or we describe a new course of action for a villain. So, yeah, we get to do that too. Okay, and there are 15 minutes for this, which might be a little long, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right, so see here. Yep, bad guys close in. Here we go. So where were we?
We were following that trail.
Right. So yeah, so we're bouncing all over the place, and we come in back up a bit. As we're bouncing around, I'll say, I can't pilot us safely around the warp bubble. I'm gonna have to go straight into the middle of it. Hang on. So we bounce around and we come out of hyperspace in the center of this system that has 5 dead worlds in it. And yeah, and 5 dead worlds, and there are like 10 of these giant black ships parked in various spots all around.
Nice. All right. And the what of the Asimov fleet?
Oh, good question. So um, they were not able to follow me in, so they're all 300 parsecs behind us, trying now in normal space, flying towards us. So it'll be another
Nice.
15 minutes before they get here.
All right. So At this, you have impeccable timing because at this point, the black ships are turning and they all align, and they're all pointing directly at us. And then they turn on their beams, but we're not getting pulled this time.
Mm.
Instead, matter, various elements and rocks and you know, metals and silicon and everything starts flowing out and kind of coalescing. It's coming right to our ship. Uh, so you need to do some crazy evasive maneuvers. Oh, Bradbury, look out! Look out! And
Full thrusters.
alarms are
Yeah,
going off. And
we're literally navigating through the creation of a planet.
indeed.
Awesome. So yeah, so
Fantastic.
I'm running all through. Somebody should probably contact General what's his name.
Trying. Here he is. Hello, Lensman. You, I knew you would interfere. How did you escape last time?
Dumb luck. Um, why are you doing all this? What's the point?
Ah, the Drino, in their infinite wisdom, will reveal the new world order as soon as their planet is complete. But I'm afraid you will not live to see it. And
Oh
he
yeah.
raises his hand with the lens, and it's darkly glowing in his hand,
Mhm.
and the some fighters,
Mm.
um, smaller ships come out of the big ones and kind of start chasing us down,
Mhm.
while in the background the planet is accruing matter and
Okay,
growing.
so while we're flying through the debris that is forming the planet, and as he says this, I'm going to say, "All right, well, eat this," and I press a button, and all of the lasers on our ship fire backwards at the matter and cause an explosion and cause the matter to sort of fly off in weird directions,
Nice.
and just get really really weird and strange, and you actually see space sort of deform slightly as that happens. So the ships now have to sort of realign and reform and reset all of their lasers as that's happening.
Nice. Nice.
And
And
I'm sure Kristoff yells, "You fools!"
so, right.
Unfortunately, that left us completely vulnerable to the fighters, though.
Yeah.
That is exactly what
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
So the fighters are like zipping around all these, these new asteroids that are flying everywhere and chasing after us. And I think Vorsia is like trying to call out the targets and where the danger is. And it's like, oh,
Mm.
behind us to the left, and like you know, 200 degrees and all this stuff. But she like can't quite process it
Mm.
fast enough. So she's always like, just several seconds behind when the ship just gets rocked. Oh, look out for that one. Oh,
Oh, let me just add, Vortia is not a good wingman.
yeah.
Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna say the black ships all turn their beams towards us. So they're gonna try to catch us in this beam and just annihilate us in the pure raw energy of creation. Um, so let's see here. And so I'm gonna say
Oh,
so we're caught in the beam.
awesome. I got
Um,
this. I got
okay.
this. Uh, is it Linga?
Yes.
Uh, pick me up. Pick up my chair here. My potted uh mobility device here, and Throw me out the airlock. Trust me.
But Portia!
And she raises the leaf that has the lens embedded in it. Trust me. Let me go.
In the name of the lens.
So she'll, some sort of kiss somewhere, something. And then she reluctantly does it.
Okay.
Awesome. So, Portia goes, let's see. Yeah, Portia goes, flying out into space, into this light, and sort of kind of, gracefully rotating around and spreading out her leaves, and begins to absorb these beams and this energy into her leaves.
Our lenses all glow.
Yes, and begins glowing, and the leaf with the lens on it, the lens begins glowing brightly, more and more brightly, and then it sends a huge beam out, and she kind of, you can tell the plant is like struggling to control where the beam is going, and she aims it into the sun of the system.
Nice.
So, well, that's all I got. I mean, what do you guys do?
I
dealing with
think
these
someone was
beams,
supposed to
man.
raise their hand or something.
Oh yeah,
Actually, that's a good
let's
point.
do it. It's totally dangerous.
Yes.
What happens
Okay.
to me, man?
That was the all right. So yeah, well done. Yeah, so I'll raise a hand on that one. So I'm gonna say that the consequence of that is that your lens cracks. So it's not necessarily destroyed, but it's badly damaged.
Oh my god. Well, that is so cool, man. I don't know if I even want to negate that with a plot point or whatever.
Oh.
But I could. So I should just spend one. I have like
Mhm.
16 of these things.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I guess I'll spend one.
Okay. So we can say
Really
that
unsatisfying though.
the lens cracks and then reforms.
Nice.
With the power of the strength of your will,
Yes. All right.
your plant will.
So
Well,
yes.
I'm keeping us out of the beams, but these fighters are still coming in
Okay.
to finish us off. So what do you guys
Okay.
do?
And
So,
I imagine like the cameras so the camera's focused on the ship and there are all these, these fighters coming at us, and then kind of like behind the ship in the background, you see like the suns start to ripple.
Yes.
Okay. So, Linga, man the cannons. I'm trying to get us, not to die.
Aye, good job with the not dying. I'd imagine just as you say that, there's a ship that kind of swoops down in front of the view screen, and it looks different from the other ships that have kind of been circling around. It's blacker and more menacing somehow,
Right.
and you just know that that's Kristoff's ship.
Of course. Yes. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So I'm going to. All right. Trust me. I'll turn the ship around and and fly towards the planet that's still being formed. They're still trying to realign the beams to make all of this matter sort of come together. And I'm going to try doing a sort of Han Solo asteroid field thing through the forming planet.
Excellent.
So I'm doing that, and I'm kind of and so obviously some of the Mook fighters explode against bits of asteroids.
Nice.
Christoph is he's navigating through, and at this point all of our lenses start to burn.
Oh no.
and we cut to inside Kristoff's ship, and we see him grinning evilly, and he's doing something with the lens to sympathetically sort of burn our lenses.
Nice. All right. Uh, okay. You're doing something dangerous.
Yes.
Uh, you're gonna the ship will be crushed by this planetary stuff. And so you'll you'll have to abandon ship.
Oh.
If you get in the middle of it, you'll be able to, stop it temporarily
Yeah.
at least, but you have to get out.
Mm-hmm. That's good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm. I'm going to accept that. That's too good of a plot twist to not do.
Nice.
So yeah, so I hit us against a stone, an asteroid, and we go sort of careening, spinning out of control,
Yeah.
and we bounce off another one and bounce off another one, and eventually sort of come to slowly a stop, and we see the camera pulls back as fighters are closing in on us and preparing for us, and we are just about done with that scene, time-wise.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. All right. So now we move on to the Dark Night of the Soul. This is a 10-minute scene where everything goes all to heck. The Death Star finds Yavin. The Nazis capture the Ark. Nazis? No, whatever. So the villain is there, and we actually have the same. I ran out of ideas for this. So same plot points on this
Okay.
one.
Okay. Because I had one more.
Good.
Oh.
All right. So now we get everything goes really, really bad, and we have 10 minutes. Go.
Okay. So the ship is too badly damaged now, but you successfully get the black ships to stop and turn off their beams once again.
Yes, that makes sense.
But freaking General Christoph, comes over the ship's comms,
Mm-hmm.
and he's laughing and like burning the lens. He's like it's like smoking on his side,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "You won't be interfering much longer." Ha ha ha. And Porsche's already out there, right? And you
Right.
were forced to abandon ship as Christoph is laughing at you.
Mm-hmm.
And as you leave by the airlock, you see the black ships are turning and they're realigning, and instead of pointing all at the same spot, sort of inwards, they're all turning to point towards the sun now. And they turn on their beams and they just start sending all this stuff into the sun, and it seems to be going unstable as more and more of this matter kind of interferes.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
So, so just before that happens, I tell him, well, we have the last laugh because we didn't come alone. And Christoph says, I know. And all the ships turn to where the Asimovian fleet is coming and just fire a giant beam and just obliterate the Asimovian fleet. Just, giant explosions all across. And then...
No! My cat friends.
So bad.
It's hard.
and
It's
then-
impossible to tell if the plant is sarcastic or not.
And there's the line of the night. And then they all turn toward the sun and start beaming into the sun.
Nice.
So, what do you plan to do with us, Christoph?
Do what you will. The Drino have changed plans. You may have stopped the formation of their planet, but you can't keep them from exploding the sun. and thus accomplishing their ultimate mysterious goal. I suppose I might as well tell you what it is. Not that you would understand.
Good.
They plan to destabilize the whole galaxy. It's burning.
There's a thunderclap, even though like there's no storm, but there just has to be a thunderclap. Curse you, you
Yes.
evil villain.
The
Uh,
in the background, the sun starts. It flashes brightly for a moment.
So, how about instead he goes something like you'll understand soon enough, and then
Ooh.
yes, and then our lenses, kind of the veins around them start turning
No.
black.
Ah, that's great.
All right.
Cool. I think we're in pretty bad danger now. Do you want to stop there for the scene?
Let me see
We have a
here.
few minutes left, but I mean I think we've it's pretty dark.
Yeah, that escalated quickly.
So, one last thing,
Yeah.
not for the villains, but I think you finally exit the ship and we're just kind of floating, and Vorsha, you float over to Vorsha, and we're all kind of like clinging,
Yes.
hanging on vine to hand, and watching the sun as it's
Mm,
starting to flash and kind of ripple and expand. But at least we're clinging onto each other.
hmm
Oh,
Friendship.
friendship.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So we have 5 minutes to talk about. So this is now we move into a break scene. Now we get to decide how the heck we're going to solve this. We get a plot point every time we solve a seemingly intractable problem. So again, this is out of character. What do you think we should do? I think we need to use the lens somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Synchronize
think,
the lenses.
It seems. Totally forgot his name. What's the journal guy?
Christoph?
Christoph. Uh, seems Christoph is trying to use the lenses against us somehow. So maybe
Yeah.
we need to throw off, break them ourselves, or
Mm,
cut them out or something to prevent that from happening.
mm,
In a way, fitting in with the theme of oppression, the
yeah.
throwing off the control of the lens aliens or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I like that. That's really dark, and I like it. Oh my gosh. I do not play with the right people if I'm like, ooh, cutting off hands.
No, it's dark, but it fits.
Yeah.
It really does.
And so that would free us to, work on the other stuff.
Now we could go the other direction with that and say that we're going to sort of synchronize our lenses and
Yeah.
use our lens as a power of good and sort of blow out his lens.
Hmm.
So
And
essentially,
what
do to him what he's doing to us, if you will.
yeah. Our theme was idealism and friendship and oppression.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think the Drino have the idealism part.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Oops. Kind of lost that one.
Yeah.
All right. How are we gonna solve the sun exploding and destabilizing things or whatever, or
Yeah.
opening a wormhole or whatever the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
So, I mean, being space opera, we could just say, "Oh, the lens then solves the problem for us because we have heart."
Right.
So we could send the black ships into the sun, which could just cause a normal supernova, which is
Oh, wow.
powerful but not universe-ending.
Yeah.
Right.
What else?
Well, we could kind of do, not necessarily do that with the lens, but kind of say we have like emergency teleporters or something,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and it's just enough power to get to. We obviously like we'd have to break up. Like we couldn't go
Mm.
all to the same ship, but
Hmm.
we just start picking
Ooh,
ships and disassembling them and
Nice. Yeah, I was thinking
nice.
we should.
split the
Uh,
party.
what I was thinking of doing is we get onto Kristoff's ship,
Mm.
which is the last thing he's expecting us to do. Get on there and we can use his ship somehow against
Oh,
the
that's
others.
interesting. So we could even go the direction that we use the lenses to fight back against him.
Oh yeah,
That
we could
gives
redeem
us.
him.
Oh yes. So and that would give us sort of a psychic link to him. So we could teleport to him through the lens. And then we can sort of wrestle with him to decide if he's going to help us or not. But then, I mean,
Yeah.
his ship is going to be connected to all the black ships, so we can at least address them that way.
Yes. Perfect.
I
Cool.
like it.
That took us 3 minutes. I love it. Okay. So now we move on to the finale. Okay, so we get 10 minutes for the big finale, starting now. So as we're holding hands together, we look deep into each other's eyes slash
Bro,
stalks.
quickly.
Yes,
Every time you do something dangerous and selfless, take a plot point this time. So I guess
true.
we just overcome like any dangerous stuff or whatever. We can just spend a plot
Correct.
point. It doesn't cost us anything, effectively.
Yes.
Okay.
At this point, doing something dangerous and selfless is good.
All right. Got it.
um,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. So we gather hands together, and I say, the only way we can solve this is together and through the lens. I propose that we join our lenses together and fight Christoph lens to lens.
Nice. I think you the plant species even with the telepathic connection, like their thoughts are extremely slow and they rely on machines to kind of interact normally. But
Hmm.
you get the sense of uh, friendship and agreement, and
Mm.
the vines kind of stretch out towards you.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I think we all touch lenses together,
Yes.
the cheesy little light effect as they all zee. Um, and so as that, so we cut back to Christoph, who goes ah, as his lens,
Yes.
bright light.
Yes.
Um, and so of course there's a shot sort of us from the distance as this bright light envelops us. And then you see sort of a flash of light fly across space towards Christoph's ship, and hit Christoph's ship, and suddenly we're there in the. So is he in a fighter?
Nice.
I think he was, and a blacker and more menacing fighter.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Spikier.
Yeah.
Actually, let me suggest that we're rather than being literally in your ship, but we're just kind of all together in this kind of a dream, white
Oh,
space, kind of like
nice.
a
I
mental
like it.
our
Yes.
mental space, right?
Perfect.
So the light reaches out and we're all just standing in front of each other, and the it's all kind of representational. So the leaf reaches out and touches Kristoff on the face, on the cheek, and he's like, "No, no!" And what are you guys saying?
Don't you remember what you were like as a lensman? Don't you remember all the good that you did back then? It could be like that again. You could go back to what you were like, and you can save the universe right now.
Fools! The lens will kill you. I died for it. Don't you remember? It left me.
No, you left it, Christoph. You left it behind as you raced towards danger in that scene that we're now gonna flash back to. No, um,
Right.
in slow motion. No,
The lens was inside you all along.
Um, can't you see, Christoph? You're being used by these people. They've corrupted you and they've corrupted your lens. You used to be the best of us. And we're offering you the chance to go back to that again.
But the Drino saved me. I can't betray them.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Uh,
They're not
what's
worth your loyalty, Christoph. They revived you only to destroy others. Don't you think
and
they'll
what say
cast you off as well?
what say you, Linga?
Kristoff, you are a hero to so many people. You can't end like this.
It's true. Oh, forgive
Aw.
me. Forgive me. And suddenly we're all, we're standing back. We're all standing on his fighter. And he's, sort of slumped in front of the controls, and we've all got a hand on each of his shoulders.
And his lens is clear again.
Yes.
Aw.
Yes.
All
So,
right.
Vorsha kind of rolls over in his little rolling
Mm-hmm.
pot, and plugs his pot into the ship's controls, and the ship reads out in a menacing voice that you don't recognize. Excuse me. Oh, yes. We have the locations of the ships. We know their weak spots.
Excellent.
Attack!
So,
Kristoff's like, yes.
yeah.
What should we do? How can we stop them?
Send them all into the sun.
Right. He steps back from the controls and says, "You're a much better pilot than me. You always were."
All right. Yeah, I'll step up and and start working the controls, and all the black ships start turning towards the sun and going, and you I'm trying to figure out how you get a sense that there's panic amongst the crew members, that things are working, not to their on their control.
Okay. Linga, here's try to. I'll give you their communications. I'll patch you in. Try to distract them, and so the screen pops up with an image of one, on board one of the black ships, and they're in the background it's just like chaos, people running around, and these Drino aliens. I don't know what they look like. There they are.
Let's go with like arachnids or something.
Sure. And they're kind of scuttling around, and one of them comes to the screen and says, "Christoph Koch."
So surprising everybody, including herself apparently. Linga actually replies in Drino,
Nice.
Wow.
and it's a very very harsh language, but she seems like she's got it down really good, including like some of the body gesture, facial expressions and gestures and body language, and it's a very like jerky sort of language. So she's and apparently she's engaged in her and the arachnid on the screen are they seem to be yelling back and forth at each other.
Nice. Oh man.
And meanwhile, the black ships just continue to going towards the sun and just further.
Yeah. And you're like flying, flying around them and I don't know, messing with them somehow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And yeah, they have no idea what's going on and why. But they all fly into the sun. There's a giant big
Oh.
ball of what?
But before that happens, though, wait. Oh, can't we rescue a few of them at least?
Hmm.
We can't just destroy them all.
Their people are spread out through the galaxy, though. This does not represent the entire breadth of
Oh, okay.
the
Kill them
race.
all then. Go ahead.
Some will surely survive somewhere, and they will rule this day. They will never do this again.
Yes.
So the ships all go in, explode, and there's a big thing, and all four of us are standing there, proudly for having slaughtered millions. Cool.
Yes.
All
Well, this
right.
was the plan of the lens all along.
There we
Yep.
are. All right, so now we get our final image. So fiasco style, we each get one final shot of ourselves describing each other. These numbers are completely wrong in the playtest document, clearly, which is fine. That's why we playtest. So we'll just go around, and each person will describe sort of their final moment as the camera sort of lingers on them in there, and this could be afterwards. We can cut to some later moment where we see them dealing with whatever happened. So, Andrea, why don't you go first?
Okay. So I kind of picture the camera, kind of like pulling back from the scene of with them standing at the helm of the ship and the explosions going on in the background, and she reaches out and takes Portia's tendril. um, and um, and then the next scene of her is it's she and Vortia again, and it's quiet in space, and Bradbury is not around. I don't know, who knows where he is, but they're on the ship, and they seem they've got the coordinates for home in the computer, and
Mm-hmm.
um, she kind of looks over to Vortia, and she says, you know, this was kind of a strange time to be revealing this, but I feel like a chapter's been closed in my life, and I think I can get it off my chest now. My great grandfather was, oh God, I forgot the name of it again. Freaking
Drino?
alien names, I tell you. Drino was Drino.
What?
Oh.
What? What?
Yeah. Um, but he would not have wanted this. He would have wanted peace.
Mhm.
And she seems very satisfied and content. A job well done.
Nice. Aaron?
All right. Well, after that adventure, Portia needs a break. So you see Portia um, landing on the plant people's home planet, which is of course all jungly and lots of plants and stuff, and kind of wheeling over to the coast. And I think Bradbury and Linga kind of lift Portia out of the pot and set her down and kind of plant her
Mhm.
on the beach there with the waves peacefully coming back and forth, and Portia's just gonna chill for
Nice.
at least a year, maybe a couple years, or
Mm.
Couple
till the
hundred.
lens calls again.
Nice. Then the final shot involving me will be me in a patrol vessel flying off somewhere, and I'm just turning away from from a screen sort of towards the pilot's controls. And on the screen you see a technical readout of the black ships, along with data on the bottom of it saying uh, 92 remaining.
Oh, nice.
And we sort of fade from that, and then I punch it into hyperspace, and it flies off.
Sweet. Roll credits.
Roll credits, exactly. Very good. You guys did awesome in that. That's amazing. All
Very
right.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll call it here. So this was Games in the Bar for Game Night, July 2014, part of Indie Plus. You can go to indieplus.org to find more, or look for us on Google Plus. That was Stories of the Lens by Brent Newhall. You can maybe soon you'll be able to play it yourself in some form.
Maybe. Yeah.
This was the first ever playtest of it, so
It
that's exciting.
was.
Yay!
Cool, man. So thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Brent. I'm Aaron Fields. And we'll see you next game night.
Thank you.